Basically, what we did was we all got together and we spoke to the Upstarters about things that irritated them, and we kind of, we drew things out. At the beginning, it was quite, it wasn't as serious, but as we progressed, the sort of things that were happening to them got more and more serious.
First, when we brought all the Upstarters and we started thinking about ideas, the biggest story that came out was these gangs that were targeting the school. So we started brainstorming on that idea, but soon we found out that it would have been dangerous for our Upstarters to be involved in that kind of story, because it was easy to identify the gangsters and they knew the kids. So we dropped that story and we went back to the kids and we said, no, let's redo another thing. And we came up with this, the dumpster and the waste that was bothering Neliswa on her way to school. So we targeted that.
The way I think that we actually went about doing it is we spent a lot of time actually thinking about it first, coming up with a narrative and actual storyline that would do the story justice. And yeah, I think it works pretty well. Me and Masi understood what each other wanted from this, so I think that because of that connection we were able to create the story in a way that was powerful enough that a difference would be created once we'd actually published it and sent it to YouTube, and actually once it was Bluetooth to each other.
At first I had that fear that I couldn't express myself through words, saying the fact that I was being abused or being bullied by guys. So you gave me that power to open up, to say that word, that I was being bullied. So you helped me with fear.
When we both started the story, we thought that it would be very much like based on just the litter and just like how she felt about it. But the more we spoke about it, the more questions were asked. We realized that the way that the litter looks changes the way that everyone in her community acts towards each other. And if the community looked better, they would have a better environment to live in and a happier environment. And eventually Neliswa's rights and responsibilities came up about it, and that was very interesting for me.
The reason I feel quite strongly about the problem that Masi is experiencing is because I can't actually comprehend that that's something that's really happening in this country at this time. And I felt that it's my job to actually create awareness for him about this issue that he's experiencing, because something as serious as that, it's something that's in our constitution that we have the right to as human beings in this country. So as journalists, we have to play the role of making awareness for something so serious as that. So I think that it was just my duty as a journalist.
At first I was scared that I was gonna be killed or everything is gonna be done at me, but I started taking choices for myself, started saying no, that ain't good, starting saying I could go to school because it's my future, starting to say everything that is based on school. So I think it changed everything.
Teenagers of today have similar things to deal with to what we had to, but granted that I went to a private school and Lakiswa went to a public school, I think there are quite a vast number of differences, like with things that they've actually had to go through. I mean, if we had bullies at our school that were turning things into a sexual thing, they would be kicked out of the school. But whereas with a public school, you actually can't kick someone out of a school, which for me that was a huge learning curve, because I always just assumed if someone does something wrong, they can get kicked out, type of thing. So yeah, I think the experiences are similar, but far more vicious in Lakiswa's case.
I think the way I see teenagers today is completely different to my initial thoughts, because they seem so much more aware of their environment and the things that are going on, that they know their rights, they know their responsibilities, they know what they need to do to be able to fix things, and things in their environment really do frustrate them. Whereas when I was a teenager, and my thoughts of teenagers, that they kind of live in their own world and they don't think about the environment and how this affects them and how they can change it. It was very interesting to get to know them.
This film make a change to me, because it was like I didn't tell anyone about this. Now I've told someone, I've told people and Justin helped me so that we can tell people. Now I'm feeling so cool because now something that was horrible in my heart, now it's